Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Hi, how are you? I'm coming at you at approximately 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I actually have the apartment to myself, which is why I'm making this video in my living room. I was like, I'm not used to like having the place to myself to like yap on here. So I was like, let me get settled. Makeup is on. She looks presentable. Let me get settled and like make a video and yap. It's hilarious because once I sat down, I realized how much I like don't live for the background of this video. Like I actually kind of prefer the bare jail-like walls of my room a little bit because I just feel like there's like kind of a lot going on behind me. Maybe it's just like the giant screen that's really kind of taking a lot of my attention, and I'm gonna assume taking yours as well. It's really kind of, it takes up a lot of wall, and it's not until I'm like sitting here making this video that I'm realizing how much wall it takes. But hey, I live in an apartment with artists. We're all artists, so it's the name of the game. How am I? I'm good. I have some time off from work and for Passover / Easter holiday, which is great. So I get like a week and a half, not even a week off from work, if that, which is great because it's not a want, it's a need, quite frankly. I have these like spurts with work, and I probably won't even like keep this in, or I'll speak really vaguely because there's in many ways I love my job or I like it a lot, and then there's like a lot of ways in which I get easily frustrated. Yeah, that's probably all I'm gonna say about that because I'm happy to have a job and I'm grateful for that, but boy, do I get irritated. But how am I doing? I'm doing well. I just had a shoot today. Earlier today, I had a photo shoot with this guy named James Jen. His prices are steep. Could they be lower? Well, yes. They're steep. So it wasn't until like I got my big bonus, which really quite frankly wasn't big at all, but it wasn't until I got that where I was like, okay, I can rationalize the price point. It was $800 and I had the mid-tier session. So he's steep. It was great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I was like talking to my friends today when we were out. I was like, it's so interesting because his process, which I don't know how like secretive or not secretive, but how much he likes to stay in the room. But so much of his process I really resonated with because it's like 3 hours. It's a 3-hour session. You bring like 2 to 5 looks and you're doing headshots, you're doing movement shots, like kind of any and everything that like you want and or need. Because I've given you $800, we can pretty much do anything I want to do. And he's like very great about being and saying and reiterating, I'm here to do whatever you want to do, which I love because again, I just paid you $800. Can you tell I'm focused really on the price point? I just paid you $800. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to tell you any and everything I want to do. And he kept complimenting like how assertive I was throughout the session. I was like, well, yes, I'm giving you $800. I'm going to be assertive. Like, I'm not going to like keep my opinions under wraps. Impossible. And I must share, and I must. I was like very assertive. I was like, I need Renaissance on. I need the Renaissance album on. If you want to get any good material from me, anything worth my money, you have to put Renaissance on. Nothing else will do. The minute I put on my Laducas, Renaissance must be playing. And the minute I put on my turtleneck and we get into our modern bag and I start kind of doing my modern contemporary dance, Olivia Dean must be playing in the background. I'm like very strict. I was like very like, I need this. Not diva, but just like assertive queen. Because again, if I could mention one more time, $800 price point. So like, yeah, we're going to be doing like any and everything I want today. This process though, seriously, is very much about taking photos in the different outfits you have. But like after every couple photos, talking, and it's a talk back between you and him about what you were feeling while taking those photos. It's very like give and take, and it starts off with some journaling and just a lot of conversation, and I really respond to that kind of process. And I'm if you can't tell, obviously doing something like this, I'm an open book and I'll talk about any and everything. unprompted really a lot of the time, which is part of my charm. So I really respond to that kind of like, yeah, I just met you, but like, let's dig in deep. I talked to him a lot, like initially, about how I felt like I didn't deserve a shoot like this, which is why, like, I keep joking about the price point, but really there were other times in my life or over the last couple years since I found him that I could have and had saved up enough that I definitely could have put it towards a shoot with him, but I didn't do it because I felt like I wasn't in the career spot, quote unquote, I wanted to be in to be deserving of a shoot like this. And that idea of deservedness I've been thinking a lot about, because I think I do that to myself a lot. I'm like, you don't deserve this until then. You don't deserve that until then. And I have been trying to like come outside of that way of thinking. It's easier said than done, but I'm really proud of myself for scheduling this shoot, because I was like, I'm nowhere near where I want to be in my career. And I'd argue actually there's many ways in which I'm further away from my idea and vision for my life than I'd want to be or I'd like to be. And because of that, and because of the insecurity I feel in my career right now, even more so, I'm gonna make myself do the shoot when I'm in the in-between, and when I'm feeling not confident, and when I'm feeling the least like an artist. Like a big like phrase I left with was beyond my limits, like push myself beyond my limit. And I love that, because I do think I'm a person that I will take risk within confines, right? Like risk that I'm comfortable with, risk that's familiar, risk that feels safe. The most vulnerable kind of performance to me right now in this time and place of my life is acting, right? Because I just started doing it, but I fell in love with it. And I want to be really great at it, but I feel like I'm still understanding who I am as an actor. And so it is incredible. If someone told me like stand up and perform, I'd rather perform in silence, a solo, improv, and dance it. I'd much rather do that. And I know to anyone else that sounds horrifying, but if I had to choose, I'd much rather do that than do any kind of monologue, because there's something incredibly vulnerable about that, because I'm still exploring it, and it doesn't feel, and it feels new, and I'm still understanding it for myself, and so it's so vulnerable. Singing as well, versus dance, where I've been dancing since I was 10 years old, and I've been performing since then as well. I'll do it. Will it be awkward if I perform in silence in front of you? Yeah, awkward for you, but like I'll get through it fine and I'll laugh it off. But you asked me to sing, you asked me to act, I'm not doing that. Do you hear my neighbors? Who's up at 2 a.m.? Oh my God. Amazon came in clutch this week, side note, because I ordered stuff for the shoot, right? And I was like really sticking to a budget, because I'm dropping $800 in the photographs, right? So we're like really sticking within budget in terms of clothes. I ended up ironically like not using anything I bought, so I'm just gonna return it all. So actually no extra money was spent at all. But anyway, I found, well actually no, one item I ended up keeping, I think I'm gonna keep, because I used it for the shoot, was this like this kind of lacy, flowy dress with these really funky sleeves. And I was like, that is it's giving very Martha Graham, or not Martha Graham, very Doris Humphrey, very Doris Humphrey. I was in my Doris Humphrey bag for my modern girls out there. And I ordered it Tuesday night, right? My shoot was today, which is a Thursday, right? At 3 p.m. I live, usually, or not I live, I'm actually, if that's okay, I'm not going to give you my address, but to give you an idea, I like whenever Amazon is like doing drop-offs of stuff, the minute, because I usually look at the tracking thing, the minute it leaves the tracking facilities, within like an hour and a half, 2 hours, it's at my front door. Like they're pretty right on the money, right? I'd ordered this outfit Tuesday night, last minute, because the other original outfit I got, ugly, hideous, like on Amazon it looked gorgeous, and there was nothing nearby I could like find in store. On Amazon it looks beautiful. I ordered it. It was like a white dress with one of those like, do you know what I'm saying? One of those neck things that like rip. One of those neck things that like tie around and you like flick behind you like this. And it's one shoulder. Do you know the kind of, I don't know how to edit anything, so I'm not inserting a photo. So just like kind of figure out what image can come to your brain. And on Amazon, on the Amazon AI model, she looked terrific, right? On the human being, which is me, it looked horrifying. I put that on, my titty is out, like it's falling out, right? I'm getting choked by the fucking rope in which the dress is tied to. I was like, what is this supposed to be? I was pissed, and it was Tuesday and my shoot was Thursday, and I was like, I don't want to go to a store, or I went to the stores nearby, but every dress was like $80. And I'm like, I'm not spending $80 on a dress in this economy. I'm not doing that unless it's my wedding dress, right? We're not going to talk about why I'd be spending I'm gonna cut that out. I just spit. Then found this like lace number that was fierce, gorgeous. I loved her. Ordered it. I was like, supposed to arrive Thursday, right? I was like, oh, my shoot's Thursday. Okay. I was like, fingers crossed this happens. I'm not gonna say chronically. I'm working on my kind of weird that I can't even remember the word, but being on time, that thing. Not great at it, right? But I've been really, it's my resolution this year to get better at it because I think it's important, right? And I think sometimes you begin to reflect when everyone's like, Kayla's not gonna get here. Like when your friends start giving you times different from everyone else because they expect you to be late, I think it's time to reflect. And I was in that era of my life where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna reflect. I'm gonna take that as a note and a message to me, and I'm going to do better. So I had the shoot at 3 p.m. So I was like, I'm gonna leave at 1:30. The shoot where I was going was only 15 minutes away, but I was like, I'm gonna leave 90 minutes early to make sure I got there. But then I look at the Amazon tracking information Thursday morning, today. And I was like, oh my God, okay, there's a chance, because it's out for delivery right now, that if I wait 90 minutes, my package will arrive ahead of the shoot. Like I don't have to do the shoot without this dress that I really, really wanted. I'm like on the phone with my boyfriend, and I was like, should I say? And my boyfriend is wonderful. He's insanely early to everything, right? Ideal human in that way. And he's like, Kayla, you need to leave 90 minutes before. You're late to everything. With Love and Light, you're late to everything. You cannot be late to something you're paying $800 for. Like, I actually implore you to get on a train 90 minutes before and like actually be on time. And he was really serious, and like, he's notoriously like, oh my God, you're so cute. Like anything I do is adorable, even when I'm late. And so him being serious, I was like, okay, I'm actually gonna really receive that. Thank you so much, right? And received and heard. Then of course I waited 20 minutes. So I ended up leaving only 60 minutes early, but I'm so glad I waited that 20 minutes because long story long, because I waited that 20 minutes, guess what arrived at my front door? My dress. And like, dude, who did I think I was? Dude. Long story short, the package arrived and the photos looked great with the dress, so I'm glad I waited. That was crazy. I don't know who I thought I was for a second, dude. I think that's what's really fun about this time of night is the delirium that like really hits about this time. And the really strange sounds that move throughout my home. Do you hear that? Can you hear any of that? It's unnerving, I'll tell you that much. I don't know what I was talking about. Yeah, I'm just glad to be on break. I think I needed a reprieve from work, if I could be so honest. Don't we all?